I think we could actually start to develop these very different accounts, which the Academy are increasingly legitimating. Now, I'll just move to this point, that I'd like to try something with you that I've never done before. And it's this point that I mentioned at the beginning of the talk. But I believe that it's essential to bring in what we call this kind of narrative wreckage. Do you know this idea that the stories of your lives, as you tell each other, you'll first tell each other smooth stories of self, yeah? You tell a smooth story. As you get to know someone and trust them, you'll start to actually reveal some of the greater difficulties that one's had, some of the painful things. It's difficult to acknowledge the embarrassment, the pain, sometimes the rage, but all of those kind of qualities. Now, I just quickly want to run through these. As I say, I'd be really interested to see if you feel that I've overcome the kind of rage that I felt when I experienced these judgments in my own practice, and that you feel, as I'm with you, that I'm still channeling the energy that I feel for education in the here and now. So I'm hoping you feel a loving energy for what I do, even though what I'm going to show you at the time provoked enormous outrage. Now, the importance of this is this. If you look at what happened in the UK, it was really horrendous, not in comparison with Ground Zero, but this is the suffering of an individual. On the July 7th, 2005, Jill Hicks was on the London Underground pulling out of King's Cross Station when Abdullah Shahid Jamal detonated the bomb that injured Jill. And she lost her legs, and this is what Jill wrote in a recent book. I didn't matter. I wish he'd made the effort to know me before he detonated his bomb. I wish I could have looked at him in the eyes and had the opportunity to say, I am not your enemy. I wish you no harm. I am not the enemy. I am a person, a human being, just like you, just like you. Now, the violation that Jill experienced was horrific. But her point, and I do agree with this, is that I feel that if the bomber had, as you saw with Cheryl and you saw with Moira, made that connection before doing that, found that recognition of value in the other, it would have been extremely difficult to go ahead and damage that human being. Now, that is why I've been trying to stress the importance of these relationships. And the energy, the life-affirming energy that Jill shows in her text, I do urge you to read it. I've referenced it in the book. And it's a really beautiful book in which an individual is showing how she has overcome one of the deepest violations that one could experience, and not allowing that to destroy her life. She's actually explaining how her creative energy and her love of life are actually emerging in the light of her response to what happened to her. And education, I think we've got a lot of lessons, to learn from Jill. Now, here's just something that I want you to just think